Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we will continue pretty much where we left at, and we will create line number 75. We are back in the familiar place of the central railway station and we'll start the line from here. We will then stop at Kaisaniemen puisto, we'll then stop at Hakaniemi and at Haapaniemi, at Sörreiden, at Ristikokatu, at Paavalinkirkko, at Kumpulan campus. Oops. Okay, this is interesting. The keyboard is doing its own things again. Then we'll stop at Sumatrantie, at Koskelan varikko. And we will stop at Viikki. But not at this Viikki stop. We will continue by creating the stop in Viikki. It's a bit westwards from here in reality, but that doesn't matter at the moment because that's the way it's built, and we will then continue at high speed. But this station, sorry about that, does not exist. This is another platform of the Viikki stop, located pretty close. So this is where we will start from. And then, this is important, the following stop is really far away. It's called Marathontie, and it's located in the sort of, how would you put that? In the street network. So while the stop has been created, we will create a lot of highway to start with. Actually, let's see here. That's created as an that's created at ground level. So we will just build an underpass. I should have done this differently. I didn't. So I will just build a giant tunnel. There we go. And then we'll continue at ground level. No issues there. And this. Oh, what am I doing? Oh shit. I'm doing mistakes. I did create train tracks instead of bus tracks or a road in there. Oops, that's not where we're supposed to go. This game always starts behaving a bit irrationally whenever too many or too much track is being added. And then I think this is the place where we'll, yes. This is a bit difficult to create because what happens here is that two large highways merge. So I will, instead of my usual antics of just cutting corners, I will actually create this the way it's supposed to be created. And build a bridge right over there. And I will also do the ramp the way it's supposed to be created, which will probably, again, so there. And I think I can then continue building double track from here. Let's just try to make this a sensible junction for the buses, but this is going to be a very long stretch of highway track. There we go. And then we go on. And while we go on, oops, what's happening over here? Is that... Oh, no. And before moving any further, I will build the signals on this fairly, oh, come on, fairly long stretch of track here. So there's quite a lot of signals to be added. This is going to be the boring part of this video. And now when oh, come on. When I look at where this is going, it means I think that this is actually going to be a very short video, because most of the tracks of line 75 have already been created. Whoa, what is this? Well, it is what it is. So basically why this video will be long is that I'm going to actually spend a lot of time building infrastructure for lines which have not yet been created. But such is life sometimes. So there we go. It doesn't really function this way, but this is as close as it gets with my lazy approach of reality over here. I usually use this lazy approach. It's kind of fun approach, you know. I just want to get things created. And if you wonder why all these signals for a single line, this is actually going to serve as the basic route for bus traffic to all of the rest of Finland. So it's actually quite an enormous stretch of track. Now, oops. This junction will probably have to be covered later. We will get to that later. But this is sort of an express lane to bypass all the areas which already are served and will not necessitate another huge amount of stops somewhere else. So there we go. That's the first stretch of highway. And then we need to build a junction. Surprise! So how does this thing work? Let me see. Let me figure this out for myself for a while. We need to create a ramp over there, and it is going to run through here, and certainly not at a speed of 100 kilometers an hour, but that's how it's gonna work. So the other ramp, on the other hand, is going to depart here, and it's going to run through here, and 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 through here. And then, what happens next is that we're gonna need a huge bridge above this canyon here with the highway and with all the ramps. And it is gonna be a bridge, yes. Now I'm not going to make mistakes here, so that's where it is. And I'm gonna make it double track because I sort of predict that I will need a double track in this. Oh, don't do that, don't do that, don't do that. I will need a double track here. So then there is a right turn in here for this track, and that's over there. And then let's put the signals on the ramps. That signal is actually way too close. I don't know who is going to flinch here, but somebody does have to do it whenever the lines are complete. The other way around, it goes like this. And then we'll just have to build the signals to this double track here as it should be. So what happens next with this line is that it's gonna stop at an already built stop by Marathontie. And from Marathontie, let's see, it's gonna be Kaadekkuja, Jakomäentie 10, Jakomäentie 6, so it follows a previously created track, then it's gonna stop at the Jakomäen ostoskeskus, then it's gonna stop at Suurmetsäntie, which is already created. Lovely. But I don't think this is the full truth, actually. I think I will need to create a stop because, exactly, there is a third stop for the Suurmetsäntie stops, which is over here. So this line actually turns right in here, and then it goes on for a while from there, but this is not an independent stop. It's yet another stop of the Suurmetsäntie stop. Or it's yet another platform of the Suurmetsäntie stop. So we will just have to create that one too. And then we can move on with life and perhaps with some new stops. Because it's actually going to connect with the stop at Heikinlaakso. So there is very little to build. The only stop, in between there is called Kalliotie Bergvägen. And it's right in between those two stops. Right over there. So really, as you can see, this line is simple to build. Really, really, really simple to build. This is the line I usually use when I need to get to Jakomäki, and believe me, I also need to get there. Oops, that went too far. Let's cancel that thing out and turn it a bit to the right there and prepare for the connection. That's it. So that's going to be a major junction of traffic over there, and if the if the keyboard could move. I mean, it's really a pain in the ass at the moment. Oops. There we go. And then we will need this roundabout, which I graciously created back in the days of the previous lines, which were 70 something. So what we need here now is a crossing from here to here and a crossing from here to there. And I think it will work after this. Okay, okay. And let's put in the signals. And what happens after that is that it will connect with the lines over there. And it will stop at Kalliotie, it will stop at Heikinlaakso, it will stop at NIMBY, and then it will actually run all the way to Puistolan Asema, the Puistola station over here. So building these blueprints will solve the first part of it, and then Creating line 75. This wasn't a very long run, was it? It will give the buses a whole new route to connect with this station over here. And that's ish. And then we will go through here. And now let's see how this link I built will actually work, because we will know it very, very soon. And that's a 300-meter distance. So yes, that thing worked. And also that thing worked, I think. And yes, this link works. So it actually worked extremely well. Now let's see how this place is going to work, because I'm next going to run the bus all the way here to, oh no, past this one. There we have Viki. It is a 5-kilometer run, but it behaves. Oh, come on, please. It seems to behave in a way I expected it to behave, so let's just say that thing is correct. And it stops at Koskelan Varikko, and at Sumatran tie, and then it's Kumpulan campus, and then we go all the way to Pavlinkirkko, and this stop at, oh, come on, behave, at Ristikokatu, and then we stop over there, and that's, wait a second, we are already in Sörnäinen. Okay, cool. We skip Lintulahti as usual. We stop at Haapaniemi. We stop at Hakaniemi. Then we stop at Kaitaniemi Puisto, and then we're at the railway station, and then we can turn back and pull all of these stops back together again. Stopping there and skipping Vallilan Varikko, because there is only one way stop for the buses. For the trams it's both ways, but then we stop there, and then there is this massively long run to, or the first massively long run to Viki, which is around 3 kilometers, and then we need a longer distance in order to connect with Marathontie, and this should be around 5 kilometers, that's correct. Kaarikko ja Jakomäentie, Jakomäki, Sturskuusveikin, Kalliotie, Heikinlaakso, Nummitie, come on, Puistolan VPK, Puistolan kirkko, Karrintie, Puistolan tori, Terrintie, Hatuntekijänkuja, and there we are. Bingo, completed. Let's have a look at how often this line runs. It starts with every half an hour. Oh, it does go down to 20 minutes at its busiest. So 20 minutes it shall be. And then we will buy the trains for it. Running line 75. There we go. How much does that take? 1 hour and the rest of it. So that's 42 minutes. We need 5 buses for this line, I think. 28 minutes. Oh, sadly, one more. So 179 buses bought, and that's it. The line is complete. The buses are running it, everything is fine, and I'm going to call it a day. I will return tomorrow with a new video as usual, but until then I will just say bye.